Hey, what's going on YouTube? James from J Kramer Fitness, protein review guy. Today, we're going to go ahead and take a look at Gorilla Mode Protein double take. We got cinnamon churro and then regular milk chocolate. Let's go ahead and go into the review details where I'm going to be examining in this Gorilla Mode Protein review being advertised via TikTok and how great this protein powder is. Take a quick look at this protein powder and see if it lives up to the claims of a fully transparent and no amino spiking claims. In this protein review, we're also going to examine how many scoops of protein do you need to go ahead and stimulate muscle growth, shakeability test, and then of course a flavor review profile of both cinnamon churro and milk chocolate. And then we're going to go ahead and answer this question: is Gorilla Mode Protein worth your money? Is Gorilla Mode third-party tested? When it comes to third-party testing, this is where it gets a little tricky. Gorilla Mode claims that their protein powder is tested. You can actually go to the website, take a look, and they have a certificate of analysis. Diet Labs is responsible for certifying protein powders as non-amino spiked with NutriCost isolate, NutriCost grass-fed isolate, and then of course Belt with Science. And Gorilla Mode Protein is once again going with Diet Labs to certify protein amount claims, which brings a big red flag in regards to amino spiking. The question is, can we trust the results from Diet Labs? I don't think so, especially when there are other reputable brands with more reliable third-party certifications. Transparency is key, and this is where a Gorilla Mode Protein falls short. Let's take a look at Gorilla Mode Protein and amino spiking, and this is the big elephant in the room because it shares right on the website and on the container no amino spiking. And anytime a protein company says no amino spiking, that's in clear view right there. It most likely, probably, based on my professional research, is amino spike. Reviewing the amino acid profile and examining carbs, I believe Gorilla Mode Protein is indeed an amino spike protein. Here's why. Whey protein naturally contains lactose, a milk sugar that should result in 1 to 2 grams of carbs per serving, and that's with an isolate. With a concentrate, that may be a little bit more, only 3 to 4 grams. And then if you go further down the filtration spectrum, a hydrolyzed whey protein is only going to offer between 0 and 1 grams of carbohydrates. Gorilla Mode Vanilla claims to only have 1 gram, which kind of raises a red flag because when you look at the full transparency protein label, they share that this is a 2 protein blend of, let me pull it up here and I'll showcase it off to the side here. 90% whey isolate, 13 grams, and then of course whey protein concentrate, 80%, and that offers 12 grams of protein. And if I were to go ahead and showcase the cinnamon churro, which only offers 1 gram of carbohydrate, and then of course the milk chocolate, you have a net carb of 2 grams, which seems about normal, but when I discuss it more in the next section here, it's a good way to identify which protein powders are amino spiked, just looking at the nutrition label. Let's go ahead and do a protein quality check. When it comes to quality, you want to know what you're putting into your body. Gorilla Mode advertises itself, but if it's so clean, why does it need digestive enzymes? This suggests that their whey might not be top tier as claimed. Combine that with the potential amino spiking, and then you're left questioning if this is really worth your money. So let's go ahead and do a comparison between Gorilla Mode Protein and Nutrition Whey. Numbers are close, but the key difference is in trust and transparency. On Gold Standard is a globally recognized leader for multiple years and provides a transparent amino acid profile for the whey. Gorilla Mode transparency remains questionable. So of course, just doing a breakdown for the nutrition facts, they're almost identical, which is kind of surprising. And you can make the claim that Gorilla Mode Protein is trying to mirror or mimic On Gold Whey. Upon reviewing the amino acid profile of a Gorilla Mode Protein, I noticed that it is very eerily similar and mirrors that of On Gold Whey. While this might seem like a positive comparison at first glance, raise huge red flags. The striking similarity suggests that Gorilla Mode could replicate a well-established brand profile, mass potential amino acid spiking. This is significant because a unique amino acid profile is one of the key indicators of high-quality protein. This, combined with other evidence, indicate the likelihood of amino spiking. Looking at the BCAA profile for Gorilla Mode versus Optimum Nutrition Gold Standard, leucine 2.6 versus 2.64, isoleucine 1.4 versus 1.68, and then of course the valine 1.4 versus 1.39. Even when you look at the full spectrum for Gorilla Mode, it's eerily way too similar, and maybe this is me being deep state conspiracy theory. Gorilla Mode is trying to mimic Optimum Nutrition Gold Standard. Nutrition fact comparison between Gorilla Mode protein versus Isopure Zero Carb and Asian Roots. I'm doing this comparison between those three brands because I reviewed Isopure Zero Carb Protein, and I firmly believe that protein's amino spiked because of the fact that it offers 0 grams of carbohydrates. And the reason why I'm comparing against Asian Roots is that it has been confirmed at not amino spike. So why is examining the amount of carbohydrates in a protein powder important? The results in a small, naturally occurring carbohydrate count, even in high quality, minimally processed whey protein. A simple concentrate may offer 3 to 4 grams, an isolate 1 to 2 grams, and then a hydrolyzed whey that can less than 1. The reason why we're doing this is that when a flavored whey protein powder, you're like Gorilla Mode Protein, Vanilla, or Isopure Zero Carb, claim to have 0.1 gram of carbohydrates, it becomes a red flag for potential amino spiking. The graph I have showcases the total carbohydrates per brand and per serving. The low carb count indicates that the lactose is either been completely removed, unless it's hydrolyzed, which none of these protein powders are, or artificially inflated with fillers like free-form amino acids. These fillers boost the protein content on the label with actually providing quality protein powder. Asian Roots grass-fed protein is verified as non-amino spiked. The carb content indicates that the protein has been stripped of its naturally occurring nutrients and hasn't been artificially inflated with low-quality amino acid profiles. If you don't believe me with the carbohydrate count, I'm going to go ahead and showcase all three proteins nutrition facts. You're going to see Gorilla Mode Vanilla, Isopure Zero Carb Vanilla, Asian Roots Unflavored Protein. And you'll notice that there is a little discrepancy in how Isopure and Gorilla Mode label their carbohydrate count. And it's very unusual because when you compare it to an unflavored protein, which offers only 1 gram of carbohydrate, and then you only see 0 or 1 gram of carbohydrate for the protein powder for Gorilla Mode and Isopure Zero Carb, it just brings a red flag with the potential for amino spiking. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Amazon opinions and what have verified viewers shared their thoughts and opinions on Gorilla Mode protein. As of today's viewing, there's less than 500 verified reviews for Gorilla Mode, averaging about 4.5 stars. Users rave about the flavor, especially chocolate peanut butter and cookies and cream. Most of the negative reviews stem from aftertaste and bloating are very common. So you're probably wondering, how many scoops do you need post-workout to stimulate muscle growth using Gorilla Mode protein? Research suggests you should aim for at least 25 grams of protein with up to 3 grams of leucine per serving. So we know this. 1 scoop of Gorilla Mode protein offers 25 grams of protein, offering 2.7 grams of leucine, falling short of the target. So if you're going to be using water, and I firmly believe this thing is amino spiked, you should be aiming for 1.5 scoops. However, if you're someone in the high protein skim milk category post-workout, I firmly believe that you can get by with a little bit over 1 scoop and 8 ounces of high protein skim milk. Let's make ourselves a Gorilla Mode protein shake. We're gonna go ahead and start off with my least favorite flavor. Now, let's go ahead and start off with milk chocolate. I firmly believe there is something off on this protein powder because of the fact that it is way too thick to be claiming that it's a concentrate or an isolate. Directions: 1 scoop with 8 to 10 fluid ounces, shake and enjoy. We're gonna go ahead and start off with milk chocolate. Boom, open up the container. I have my Daily Driver Pure Choice Farm shaker. we're gonna go ahead and stay with the recommendation because we're doing a double serving today. We're gonna do one normal baby scoop, close it off. All right, sell, lock her up, shake. All right, I didn't even bother shaking for a full 30 seconds. However, I scored this thing very high, I think somewhere in the 9s. If you can see it on, there are small cake bits around the shaker wall there. Nothing too bad. And then of course, underneath the shaker spout, shaker lid. See, that's where we had an issue there because I probably could have gone for the full 30 seconds. So if you do like this type of long form content, please subscribe. I do weekly protein powder reviews. And then of course, leave a like if you found this information helpful in helping you become a more informed buyer. So with that shared, let's go ahead and get into a taste test for milk chocolate Gorilla Mode protein. Cheers. Taste is, there is a weird aftertaste with this protein powder. I don't know what to think about it. Give me another sip here. It comes off really thick. And I think what's going on here is it's a weird aftertaste. It almost feels like that it starts off as a milk. How about this? I'm not a fan of Hershey's chocolate, but I watched a documentary on how Hershey's chocolate has issues with fermentation. And with this, with Gorilla Mode protein, it's not rancid, but there's a weird funky aftertaste. It's not like a blue cheese taste, but it has the hints and flavors of a milk chocolate shake, but it's just, there's an underlining tone of it's not quite expired, but there's a strong mixture of whey in this. Not a fan of the flavor on this at all. So we're not gonna finish this one. Pass. All right, let's go ahead and keep the herding going. Let's take a look at cinnamon churro. Yeah, not my favorite flavor out of the two. I mean, this one, if you watch my On It protein review, man, I love cinnamon, but this has almost got hints and flavors or issues with the cinnamon here. So, I mean, it's got a nice aroma when you open up the container, but we shall see. All right, so I got the classic blender bottle. One little baby boy scoop going in, sell, top, lock her up, shake her up. I like churros. I like cinnamon churro. Let's see if it adds up with Gorilla Mode protein. Cheers. Man, this one's overly sweet. What's on the ingredient profile on this? It does not, my taste palette is not a fan. The two, sucralose and Ace K, those are the two sweeteners, artificial sweeteners used in this protein powder, but there's that claim of natural and artificial flavoring in there. There's something off on this protein powder. I think there's too much sugar. I think this protein right here, cinnamon churro, nope, pass. The cinnamon flavor is there. It's just, it almost tastes like there is trace amounts of stevia, but stevia's not in it. There is something off on it. So not a fan of cinnamon churro. Milk chocolate is serviceable, but they both have a fungus aftertaste, if you will. It's not moldy, but it's almost borderline moldy, rancid. Not a fan of it. So, all right, so here we go. Ceremonial dumping of milk chocolate. I don't think this is a true isolate then concentrate because this thing is way too thick. But dumping it out, that's what you're getting. It looks like sludge. So I used 68 fluid ounces on that one, and then let's go ahead and dump out cinnamon churro. And let's see here. Let's go off to this side here so you can see how thick this thing is. This is showcasing almost a level of kind of like Echo Vision. When I contacted Gorilla Mode Protein, they said that they source their ingredients from China. So this is a China whey. Support America. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the pros and cons of Gorilla Mode protein. Starting off with cons, likely amino spiked just by doing a nutrition facts analysis. The amount of carbohydrates is too low for a blend of mostly isolate with some concentrate. False transparency claim, this baby is amino spiked because of the certifying agency who is doing the third-party certification, Diet Labs. The only thing true about the transparency claims is the full protein transparency. What's the term that they have? Full transparency protein. Yeah, you get to see how much protein is being offered per serving, especially with the 2 protein blend. That's a nice touch. No, thank you. It's very high price for the protein powder you are buying. $49.99 per bottle. Pass, not interested. People at Gorilla Mode, they were nice enough to go ahead and share the amino acid profile. But Diet Labs is saying that this thing is non-amino spiked. I don't believe it. And then, of course, I don't know if this protein powder is truly a isolate concentrate blend. The milk chocolate came off a little thicker than usual. I'm not 100% bought on the 2 protein blend. So what are the big time pros? Well, if you're someone who's low carb, keto, or Atkins dieting, hey, vanilla or milk chocolate, they're very low carb with only 1 gram per serving. Decent mixability. And then, of course, Amazon reviewers were raving about the cookies and cream and chocolate peanut butter flavor. However, the 2 flavors that I've reviewed today, milk chocolate, cinnamon churro, do not get cinnamon churro or milk chocolate. Big old question here, who should be buying Gorilla Mode protein? If you're looking for a good tasting protein powder, low carbohydrate formulation, and don't mind amino spiking, hey, help yourself. I mean, this thing is being advertised on TikTok pretty heavily. If you're a TikToker, that's fine. You gotta do what you gotta do to affiliate. Was it affiliate influencer? Is that the term? I don't know. I have a TikTok, but I haven't posted anything on there yet. However, if you're serious about your fitness and want a clean, high quality, transparent protein, there are better options available. Let's do a quick review roundup and end this thing because this thing has gone way too long. Let's do a quick and easy. Gorilla Mode protein looks good on the surface with flashy marketing and great taste. I use that term lightly, especially for cinnamon churro, milk chocolate. Those flavors are serviceable. Milk chocolate, cinnamon churro, here, no good. But if Gorilla Mode protein raises too many red flags regarding quality and transparency, especially with the claims found on the container, if you're concerned about what you're putting into your body, by all means, look somewhere else. Don't get your protein powder on TikTok. What are your thoughts on Gorilla Mode protein? Don't be afraid to leave a comment below. I'm interested, if you're on TikTok, what protein powders have you been targeted in purchasing? Because I've reviewed a handful of social media advertised protein powders. If you have a protein powder you want me to review, leave a comment below. I'll add it to my list. I'll get to it. And as always, thanks for watching. Make it a great day.